What's going on, guys? Twilight here with another Monster Hunter video. In today's video we're going to be learning how to make a very good armor set against the Arch-Tempered Kirin, and we're also going to hunt the Arch-Tempered Kirin in this video to show you guys just how well the armor set works against it. You're not going to need a lot of materials for this. In order to do this total set and weapon, you're gonna need about 200,000 zenny. So let's go to our wish list. I set some stuff up in the wish list, and looking at it, we have a defense charm that we're gonna make if you don't already have it, and then we're going to make the full Uragaan alpha armor set. This set is going to be for a lance, and even if you have never used a lance in your entire playthrough of Monster Hunter, this guide will help you use the lance effectively and kill the Arch-Tempered Kirin with no problems. So I went over the total required materials that you'll need to make this armor set. If you guys need more time, feel free to rewind the video. So we're going to go ahead and start by making the Uragaan armor set. So we're going to get the helmet. Start with the helmet here, and there it is. So we're gonna make the helmet, and then it's gonna cost about 60,000 zenny to make just the armor. So we're gonna go ahead and make the rest of the pieces really quickly. So for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to level up the armor at all. So we're gonna show you that you don't need to have a higher level armor in order to fight and kill the Arch-Tempered Kirin. So now we're going to make the charm, and we're going to go for defense charm. It's really easy to make. It just requires ores, so you don't need any monster parts really to make it. And we're going to go to upgrade, and we'll go ahead and upgrade the full thing. So we're going to upgrade it all the way max. So level 2 and then level 3. So we're going to max it out here. So now that we're done with the armor, we're not going to focus on leveling up the armor. You can if you want to, but we're going to show you that you don't need to level up on armor in order to actually fight it and win. So now we're going to make a weapon. The weapon that I personally recommend for this set in particular is the Odogaron Lance. So in order to make the Odogaron Lance, we need to start from the bone tree. So we're going to go ahead and make the bone lance right now. So we make this one. Now we're going to level it up, basically following the path that will lead us to the Odogaron Lance. So make the level 2, and then now we go down to the Carapace Lance, the Baroth tree. We make this one, and then the level 2 of the Baroth. All this is low rank materials. And then you go down and make the Odogaron low rank. And you need a few low rank parts, and then you can complete the Odogaron set. So now we're going to max it out. You need at least one Odogaron gem in order to max it out. So we'll go ahead and now, we maxed it out. We have, a decent amount of attack and white sharpness. So white sharpness is going to be very useful against the Kirin because it allows you not to bounce on the tail if for some reason you hit the tail. So now we're going to go ahead and add some decorations. We're going to add very easy to find decorations for this set, guys. We're just going to add some vitality jewels. So you're going to get health boosts all the way up to plus 50. So it's going to be 3 vitality jewels in your 3 level 1 slots. And then now if you have defense jewels, you can add defense jewels to the Uragaan part. This is not a requirement, but if you want to add them, you can. If you want to add some more attacking stuff, you can. I threw on the brace jewel because I don't want to get flinched by just the tiny attacks that Kirin ends up doing once in a while. So this is what the set looks like. You get defense boost level 6. That's up to you. You get level 4 just for crafting the set, but if you add 2 extra decorations, you can go ahead and throw them on there just to have it. Health boost is a really good one for survivability, especially if you're using a tank set like the Uragaan set. So Uragaan gives you the ability to have level 3 guard, which is really useful with the lance, making it so that you don't really flinch while you're holding your shield against the monster's attacks. And then you also have guard up, which isn't really necessary for this fight, but it's just an extra bonus. So we go ahead and throw on some mantles. I'm taking into consideration that if you guys are hunting this for the very first time, maybe you're not very good at the game, or you're just starting out, you're going to have basic mantles like the Vitality Mantle and maybe the Thunderproof Mantle. If you've reached level 50, I'm assuming you've gotten these mantles. So now we're ready. We're going to go ahead and get everything set up so that we can go fight the Arch-Tempered Kirin. So we'll see in a second here. Now we're gonna go ahead and eat. I threw a voucher on, and we're gonna eat for defense. We're using the fish plate that gives you defense up large. If it doesn't give you plus 50 health boost, that is not the end of the world. You can bring a max potion or ancient potion in order to get 200 health during the quest. So now we selected the Arch-Tempered Kirin quest, the Whisper of White main quest. We're just waiting for it to load, and we're going to go on the quest. So now that the quest has finished loading, we're going to grab some stuff from the box just because they're free stuff that you get anyway. Grab a track just to see where the Kirin is. It looks like the Kirin would be up top. If you haven't maxed out your Kirin tracks, you might have to grab a few more tracks just to figure out where it is in the map. But thankfully I have, so I know exactly where it is. We're going to go up here and we're going to attempt to fight the Kirin. Now for the purpose of this match, I am keeping it really basic, guys. I am playing as if I have never used the lance before, just to show you guys, even if you have never used the weapon, you can effectively beat this monster without too much trouble using this set. So now we're just going to wait for the Kirin to come back down here. Basically, all you're doing is you're picking your moments. If you fought Kirin, you know that it attacks and then it waits for a few seconds, allowing you the time to attack. Anytime that the Kirin is attacking, you can just hold your shield. You don't have to worry about losing stamina. You have enough guard jewels that you can block pretty much anything. Now what I just did there was called an advancing guard. It's really useful, and you can do it after any attack with the lance. So basically, if you poke, you can hold your shield button after you've poked the monster, and then press on the PlayStation, you can press the triangle, which would be a shield attack, and a direction at the same time. So that moves you in a direction while holding your guard. You see how I'm backstepping while holding my shield, or forward stepping while holding my shield? You can do that after any attack with the lance. So that's going to be primarily our mode of sort of moving around and making sure we're not in the range of certain attacks while we're fighting. See, I just poked it twice, and I did an advancing guard backwards so that I could move out of the way of certain attacks. So I attacked twice, backstep. You know, you can move it to the side, you can do a forward advancing guard. Whatever type of advancing guard you want, you can do after you've hit an attack. The only time the only type of advancing guard that you can do without attacking is a forward advancing guard. See right there, I didn't attack, I just hold my shield and then hold forward and triangle at the same time, and that did an advancing guard. So now we're fighting the Kirin. Basically, we're just picking our moments, guys. We're poking a couple of times, waiting for it to attack, and then after it attacks, we get an opening, we attack a couple of times, and then you can sort of reset your attack by either advancing guard or by doing a ultimate guard with the shield. So now we're just literally poking away at it. I'm gonna go ahead and so Kirin ran away. We're gonna speed up this next part. I don't want to make you guys sit here and watch the whole thing while, you know, Kirin is just running around. The total amount of time that this quest took was 24 minutes, and I literally turtled behind my shield the whole time. So we're just gonna keep poking the Kirin as many times as we can. You don't have to know how to do too many attacks in order to be able to use the lance effectively and be able to kill the Kirin. So whenever you get a chance, you should try to, you know, equip mantles and make sure you remove the mantles once they're depleted. So I just put on the Vitality Mantle here. just in case I get hit. And even if you get hit behind your shield, you don't take any damage while you're wearing the Vitality Mantle. So, you know, it's really useful to have it, especially against a monster like Kirin, who just chips away at your health. So, what I'm doing right there, as you see, Kirin lights up the floor when he's about to do an attack that's unblockable. So, you know, you want to keep an eye out for that attack. That's one of the only attacks where you'll actually have to dodge. But thankfully, Kirin telegraphs it so well, and, you know, gives you so much time in order to actually, you know, be able to move out of the way properly or unequip your weapon and super dodge, whatever you have to do in order to dodge it. For the most part, during this whole quest, you'll see that all I'm doing is just moving slightly to the right or left. This time, you guys could see I got hit with the unblockable attack, but I was wearing my Thunderproof Mantle, so it barely did any damage. And keep in mind, this is an armor set that has not been leveled up, not even once. So if you guys do level this up, you'll barely take any damage. So I went ahead and ate some potions there, and we're going to continue the fight against Kirin. Basically, like I said, you're, you know, blocking and attacking the face every chance you get. If somehow... See, I'll just move to the side really quickly to dodge that. If somehow you do get hit by the Kirin, or you hit the tail while he's upset, you will bounce off of the tail. And, you know, if you bounce off the tail, just, you know, don't panic. Just wait for your moment and then hold your shield again, and then you can move out of the way or block whatever incoming attacks there are. The only attack that'll probably hit you, is a little horn attack like that, and those attacks don't really do that much damage, so as long as you're not taking consistent hits from those, you'll be fine. Right here I just used the bug to heal myself. You know, you do have the bugs. If the Kirin's in this area and you've taken some damage, you don't have to put away your weapon in order to fight it. You could just go towards one of the bugs and then, you know, break it so that you can heal. So now we're just, you know, playing very defensively, but it's very easy. You know, you're just poking at the Kirin and then advancing guard whenever an attack is coming in, and, you know, a direction that's you know, that's very good for you to not take any damage. And one other thing that you can do, if you're using the customized wheel, you can sharpen your weapon while you have your shield out without having to put away your weapon. So if you guys haven't been using that, the customized wheel is very, very useful. You see how even though I was attacking, I had the chance to advancing guard backward in order to dodge the Kirin's lightning attack. So now we knocked it down a little bit. We're just doing as much damage as possible. I saw the Gajalaka over there try to hit the Kirin, so I'm going to go towards the Gajalaka just to have him help me, you know, do a little bit of damage to the Kirin. If you don't have a Gajalaka here, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure, you know, like I said, just hold your guard if for some reason you bounce off, and then you'll be fine. So now I'm just gonna sharpen my weapon while the Gajalaka go to town on this Kirin, and they're doing pretty decent damage. And my cat is over there cheering them on. Yeah, Gaja, you know, do some damage. I put the coral horn on my cat because I believe it's one of the most useful. You could put anything else on your cat, like the Gajalaka ability, Palico ability, and that would also be very useful against the Kirin. Things you don't really want are like the trap. You don't want the trap. I mean, you can have the Vigor Wasp or the Shield Spire, and those would be very good against the Kirin as well. So see, right now we're just dodging, blocking, and poking. That's all we're doing. We're not really doing anything fancy, guys. We're blocking, we're poking. We're blocking, we're poking. And whenever there's an attack that we don't want to really get hit by, we advancing guard in the direction that we need to. So, you know, now we're just, you know, chipping away at the Kirin, doing as much damage as possible. Kirin's gonna run away here. You know, and then I'm just gonna use this Virgo Wasp to heal. No need to use your potion. You know, I literally picked up 4 potions from the box. We've only used 2, and that's from me being, you know, not very cautious. If you continue being cautious, you won't have any issues whatsoever. So I get a mount right there. The lance is one of the only weapons, actually one of the few. There's about 2 weapons. It's the lance and the insect glaive that can mount a monster at will. So you don't have to have a ledge in order to mount the monster. So what I did there was I did the running attack with the lance, which is hold shield and then press the circle and triangle at the same time while holding forward, and it allows you to, you know, do a running attack. And then if you jump, you press X while you're doing the running attack, you'll do a jump, and then while you're in the air you can attack with the lance, and that counts as mounting damage. So we're just chipping away at the Kirin here, you know, just blocking and attacking, nothing fancy, guys. If you bounce off, you just reposition and keep your guard up. So see how, you know, I bounced off, I just blocked, you know. Now you can advancing guard out of the way towards the Kirin whenever he's doing that one move where he slams lightning all the way down on the ground. That way you don't take some damage. So I just saw that the Kirin dropped a pod here, which is a good indication that we're actually doing really good damage. Once the monster drops 2 pods on the floor, that means they're almost dead. So this was the first pod. So we're about, we'll say 50% of the Kirin's health at this moment. So I picked up the dragon pod. Those are actually really good pods against the Arch-Tempered Kirin, but the only thing is you'll need to use it on its face. If you try to use it on any other parts of the body, depending on if the Kirin is upset or not, you will probably do 0 damage and it would waste the pod. So what you want to do is you just want to make sure you're facing the Kirin's horn before you use it, and it will remove it from its enraged state. See, like right there, I broke his thunder armor using 1 dragon pod. You know, sometimes it might take more than 1, but you know, just make sure you're only using those on its face. So now Kirin is kind of tired, even though it doesn't look like it. You know, we're just gonna keep doing the same thing we've been doing, guys. Poke and block, poke and block. Picking up the shinies, sometimes you can get something like a dragon treasure. It gives you 800 points. See how I advancing guard away from that just so I could position myself in a way where I wouldn't get hit by that attack. You know, we're just literally, guys, poking and blocking. Poking and blocking. It cannot get any easier than this. And like I said, this was an armor set that did not have any augments on it, anything. You just made it fresh from the smithy, and that's it. So I'm gonna try to use another dragon pod here. It does some damage. It doesn't break its armor because it takes a few in order to break the armor. I'm just gonna block here just in case Kirin tries to do something funny. With this armor set with guard level 3, you can block just about anything and you don't take any damage. The only things that will do a little bit of damage to you behind your shield will be its most powerful attack, which is the Thunder Crash. So those attacks right there that it's doing do no damage. See, now I'm just positioning myself. When it's enraged, it does 3 levels of that stream. You just look at the floor and then look at where the white parts are. So now we broke the horn, and you know, we're just literally walking away from the white areas so that we don't take damage. Now it's limping, so look at that, we're almost done. So Kirin has about 20% HP left at this point. You know, when it's limping away, it's usually about, you know, 20%. It's different for different monsters, but Kirin is one of those that just doesn't have that much more HP left once it starts limping away. So now we're just going up, and we know where its nest is. We're gonna go up to the nest once, you know, and then try to meet Kirin there. So while you're going up here, you want to look down. If the Kirin is going up with you, he'll knock you down if he passes right next to you. So you want to give him space to go up. So now I'm just going to sharpen, and we're going to get ready for the final stand, if you will. You know, I picked up a couple extra potions there. You know, if you've used more potions than this, it's not a big deal, guys. You're literally poking and blocking, so it's not like you're most likely not going to use a lot of materials when you're in this quest. So I threw down a couple of barrel bombs. You know, if you have them, great. You can use them to do a nice little wake-up attack on the Kirin. If you don't have them, it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. Just go ahead and do your most powerful attack to wake up the Kirin. I'm just going to use my cat's drums here just to see what type of abilities that I get. And then I use the pod to break the barrels to do some massive damage to it, to wake it up. So now I'm just chipping away at it, just poking away at it. And this is really the final part of the battle, guys. I'm just going to let this play out. But essentially, we're following the same guidelines of what we've been doing earlier. You know, we're poking, we're blocking, we're advancing guard away from things that we don't want to get hit by. So poking, blocking, aiming for the face. That's all we're doing. And then just walking away from that light attack on the floor. So that's all I'm doing. You know, I do get hit a few times while I'm here because I'm being careless at this point. I just want the battle to end. I'm like, okay, you must be almost dead. Let's just, you know, be a little bit more aggressive. But honestly, you don't need to be aggressive. Just take your time. It'll go down, you know, swiftly. And, you know, once it gets tired, that's a lot of extra hits that you can get, you know, just because you were patient, you know. So we're just poking away at it. One thing you definitely want to keep in mind is even if you do get hit while you're using this tank set, never panic, guys. You are a tank. You do not get killed by, you know, little things. Like, in order for you to get killed, you have to make mistakes. You have to consistently make mistakes. So if you're a tank, just stand your ground. And then, you know, be able to take as much, you know, as much ire as you can. You know, I'm just advancing guard away from Kirin. I decided to use a max potion here. You know, you should bring a max potion in this fight, just in case. You never know, something could happen. Maybe you make a mistake and you die. You know, you want to be careful and be prepared a little bit. This is an Arch-Tempered monster, of course. You know, these are currently the hardest monsters in the game, and Kirin, for a lot of people, has been a really hard one. So we're about to end the fight here. Kirin's basically almost dead. We're following the same pattern: guard, move away or backstep, or you know, advancing guard somewhere else, and boom, we finished it off, guys. So now the Arch-Tempered Kirin is down. You guys have just taken it out. It didn't really require too much of you. We used what? One max potion this whole fight, and then the 4 regular potions that we picked up from the box. So we barely needed to use anything. And if we were using a Vigor Wasp cat, that would have been even less. You know, taking a look at everything here again, guys. You know, this was just the Uragon armor set base. You know, it didn't have anything too crazy, nothing too special. You'd put on some vitality gems to increase your health to 200, and we're using the Odogaron lance in order to do some more damage. But let me know if you guys found this useful. This is really the absolute easiest way for you guys to kill Arch-Tempered Kirin. If this is your first time hunting it can't be any easier. But like the video if you liked it, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.